Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, last time we covered two asphyxiant poisons, hydrocyanic acid and carbon dioxide toxicity. Today we'll discuss carbon monoxide poisoning and very briefly we will touch war gases. First, carbon monoxide poisoning. In coal gas, 7 to 15% of carbon monoxide is present and it is used quite commonly in our houses. Its domestic use is quite widespread. Natural gas, when burnt in unventilated conditions, carbon monoxide is produced. Its properties and sources. Carbon monoxide is a colorless, odorless, non-irritant gas which cannot be perceived by the senses. It is formed by incomplete combustion of carbon and organic matter. The principal sources are sewer gas, illuminating gas, gases resulting from explosion in mines, from dynamite and other high explosives. It is also produced from large oil lamps and burning houses. In car exhaust fumes also carbon monoxide is present. Mode of action. Being a colorless and odorless gas, fatal level is attained much before its presence is realized. The affinity of carbon monoxide for hemoglobin is about 200 to 300 times more than the oxygen. In fact, it is about 240 times more than the oxygen. So, carbon monoxide displaces oxygen and combines with hemoglobin to form carboxyhemoglobin. Carboxyhemoglobin is relatively very stable compound. As oxygen is now not available to the tissues, tissue anoxia occurs which can lead to asphyxial death. Signs and symptoms of carbon monoxide toxicity. These depend upon the degree of saturation of carbon monoxide in blood. If it is 0 to 10%, there may be no appreciable symptoms. If saturation is 10 to 20%, there are symptoms of shortness of breath on exertion, mild headache and flushed skin. When saturation is 50 to 70%, consciousness is lost, there is syncope, coma, convulsions, respiratory paralysis, and at times death can also occur. at 70% level. But when the saturation is above 70%, then deep coma, respiratory paralysis will lead to death surely. Fatal dose and fatal period. When a person is at rest, 0.1% of carbon monoxide in the atmosphere will result in stupor and coma into 2 to 3 hours time. But with exertion, with exercise, 1 hour is sufficient to produce these symptoms. When 1% of carbon monoxide present in the atmosphere, it will result in stupor and coma in just 15 to 20 minutes time. Now, what specimens are to be collected if death due to carbon monoxide poisoning occurs? Both from the scene and also from the dead body. The specimen should be collected from the atmosphere, from the scene and also from the dead body on autopsy. Air sample is collected and usually it should be collected by the gas engineers, but from the dead body, the autopsy doctor has to collect specimen, and specimen of choice in death due to carbon monoxide poisoning is blood. But don't forget to collect other specimens like routine viscera, stomach and its contents, pieces of liver, spleen, kidney, small intestine, and also urine sample. How to treat a case of carbon monoxide poisoning? The patient must be removed at once to fresh air. Body should be kept warm, and at times no further treatment may be necessary if the patient is conscious and breathing and is alert and there is no shortness of breath. But at times you have to give oxygen. Oxygen enhances, speeds elimination of carbon monoxide from the body. At times artificial respiration is required, especially if the breathing is irregular. Blood has to be transfused in few cases, especially when these are very serious cases, so that carboxyhemoglobin is replaced by oxyhemoglobin. Prophylactically, antibiotics can be given to prevent lung infection. If pulmonary edema develops, we can give 20% mannitol. Medico-legal aspects. As it is easily available and there is a rapidity of action occurs very rapidly. It was a method of choice to commit suicide. The person used to close all the doors and windows of the room, keep a container containing burning coals there, used to write a suicidal note and die in this situation. So this is one of the methods to commit suicide, although these days it is not very common. Accidental is more common. Accidental exposure to the gas occurs due to leakage from sources of domestic supply, in burning buildings, and explosion in mines. In domestic situation, elderly people are more prone because they are forgetful, memories defective, they forget to switch off the gas taps and levers, so accidentally poisoning can occur in the elderly people in domestic situation. Homicidal poisoning is quite rare. Autopsy findings. Externally, there is fine froth coming from mouth and nose, as occurs in asphyxial deaths. Post-mortem staining color is very characteristic. It is cherry red. Skin blisters may be seen on axilla and on inner side of thigh. These blisters, these lesions are due to anoxia or hypoxia. Internally, blood tissues, viscera, all are of bright cherry red color. The brain may be edematous. Petechial hemorrhages may be seen on the meninges. Lungs are edematous. There may be evidence of bronchopneumonia. If specimen of brain is sent for microscopy, we may find hemorrhages in white matter and necrosis of basal ganglia. There may be necrotic patches in the cardiac muscles as well. Carboxyhemoglobin is a stable compound. It can be detected even in highly putrefied dead bodies. We can find carboxyhemoglobin taking specimen from the bone marrow. Well, this much about carbon monoxide toxicity. Very briefly, we'll discuss VAR gases, because at times you get note on this VAR gases. It is unlikely that a whole question of 5 marks will come in your exam, but there can be a note on VAR gases. VAR gases are used usually in wartime and rarely in other situations to incapacitate enemy or members of unlawful gatherings in peace time. The term VAR gases is not appropriate because these substances are not always gases. They are chemicals, but they are not always gases. Liquid and solid forms are also used at times for this purpose. And usually these are used during wartime, but they are also used for unlawful crowds, to disperse them, to cause them mild harm. The ideal war gas must have few properties. It should be cheap because they have to be prepared in enormous amount. So these should be cheap. Preferably, these are byproduct, industrial byproduct, then it is better. These should be toxic in low doses because large number of troops spread in large area are the target. So these should be toxic in low doses. These should be heavier than air. These should be highly volatile, and these should be stable chemical component or compound so that they should not corrode or damage the container in which these are stored. Classification of war gases. These can be lacrimators. Lacrimators are tear gases. They produce watering in eyes, watering from nose. Example is bromobenzyl cyanide, BBC. These are heavy, oily, dark brown liquid. These cause lacrimation and at times temporary blindness. There is some irritation to respiratory passages as well. Their smell resembles smell of rotten fruit. Second type is lung irritants or asphyxiants like chlorine and phosgene. These are lethal chemicals used to kill the enemy. When inhaled, they cause dyspnea, tightness in chest, cough, cyanosis, and then collapse and death may occur due to respiratory paralysis. Third group is vesicants or blister gases. Examples are mustard gas and lucite. Volatile irritant liquids are also used. These are discharged in artillery shells. These cause irritation of eyes and face and also produce blisters on the body, especially on the face, axilla and groin. Fourth group is nerve and blood poisons like carbon monoxide, hydrocyanic acid and hydrogen sulfide. All these have their own toxic effects. Fifth group is of nerve gases. In this group, toxic chemicals like acetylcholine and organophosphate compounds are used. These were produced and synthesized in World War II, and they were kept as military secrets. They are used as nerve gases to incapacitate the enemy troops and cause their death. Well, we have covered the topic of carbon monoxide and war gases. So the chapter of asphyxiant poisons is covered. In this, we dealt with cyanide poisoning, carbon dioxide poisoning, carbon monoxide poisoning, and very briefly war gases. Well, we stop here. Thank you very much.